This is Chemistry Made Simple YouTube channel. I take this opportunity to welcome you to another great learning segment. Today, we concern ourselves with the nomenclature of monosubstituted alkanes. Now, previous part, we learned how to name straight chain alkanes. But now, we want to expand, take another step, and see how we can name a monosubstituted alkane. First and foremost, what is a monosubstituted alkane? A monosubstituted alkane is an alkane that has a single substituent along its carbon-carbon chain. There are several substituents that may be attached to the carbon-carbon chain, but for matters of simplicity, let us concern ourselves with the nomenclature of alkyl substituted alkanes. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we name alkyl substituted alkanes? To name a monoalkyl substituted alkane, you must follow guidelines from IUPAC. Now, having already explained to you in our previous video what it means by IUPAC, let me proceed and state the guidelines or the rules that we are supposed to follow in the naming of a monoalkyl substituted alkane. So according to IUPAC, the first step in naming a monoalkyl substituted alkane is to determine or locate the parent chain. What is the parent chain? The parent chain is defined as the carbon-carbon chain or the carbon-carbon skeleton in a compound that has the highest number of carbon atoms. So to illustrate this rule, consider the alkane that has been displayed there. We are supposed to determine our parent chain. Try to create several, as much as possible, carbon-carbon chains in the given compound. So by using the compound displayed there, the following carbon-carbon chains can be obtained as displayed there. Now, in all the three displayed carbon-carbon chains, the correct or the parent carbon-carbon chain is the one in yellow highlight. Why the one in yellow highlight? It is because it has the highest number of carbon atoms, and that highest number of carbon atoms is 5. The second guideline from IUPAC in naming a monoalkyl substituted alkane directs us to assign numbers to our parent chain. We have already seen our parent chain, such that the carbon atom bearing the alkyl substituent, in this case, has the lowest number. By basing on the previous example, there are therefore two possible ways, but only one of them is correct. Now notice that in the first one, the carbon atom that is attached to the substituent is in position number 2, while in the second numbering, the carbon atom attached to the alkyl substituent is in position number 4. We therefore consider the first one. We can now write down the correct IUPAC name of our given compound. How? We write down the name of this compound by first and foremost writing down the number of the carbon atom attached to the alkyl substituent, following from above. That number is 2, followed by the punctuation mark that is known as a hyphen, as displayed there. That is a hyphen, followed by the name of the alkyl substituent. Since we have already learned how to name alkyl substituents, that alkyl substituent is methyl, so we write the word methyl, followed by the parent name. The parent name is the name of the alkane that corresponds to the parent chain. This was determined in our first rule, and from our first rule, the parent name is pentane. So quickly, the name of our compound is 2-methyl pentane. There is no space between the name of the alkyl group and pentane. This being said, therefore, I welcome you to the classroom where we shall have a chance to actively name the given compound by following the guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the classroom. And before us, we do have a question where we are supposed to name the given compound systematically. As I have said before, the word systematically implies or guides us to use IUPAC guidelines. And therefore, according to IUPAC guidelines, to name such a compound, the first step is that we must obtain our parent chain. And the parent chain is going to help us determine the parent name. So, for starters, is that always transverse the given compound to obtain all the possible carbon-carbon connections. So, let us transverse the compound together. First connection is 1, 2, 3, 4. So going this direction, there are 4 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still coming like this, still gives us 4 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And coming like this gives us 5 carbon atoms. From the description of the word parent chain is that we should choose the longest, or the one having the highest number of carbon atoms. And therefore, as encircled in red, this is our parent chain. And because this is our parent chain, it helps us to generate the parent name that corresponds to a 5 carbon chain alkane, and therefore the parent name of our compound is pentane. Note that this is now our substituent, and as seen before, the name of this substituent is methyl. And therefore, we go back to our compound and assign numbers to carbon atoms on the parent chain such that our substituent is allocated to the carbon atom with the lowest number. So we start from this side. This can be carbon number 1, this is number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. And also starting from here, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Now you realize that the methyl group, which by the way is our substituent, in either way is on position number 3. So if these two numbers were different, we would definitely, according to the guideline, choose the lowest, but they are the same. At this point, we can therefore write down the name of the displayed compound as follows. First, the number 3, followed by a hyphen, and then the word methyl, followed by our parent name. Do you have any challenging concept as regards organic chemistry? Please contact me by sending me an email using the email address in the description of this video. Until next time, I remain yours truly, your chemistry teacher. Goodbye.